Welcome to the Slmroc series. We're here. We have a working ticker. They're rolling. I'm here with Josh Morgan in the booth. And Josh, you know what, Zwack? Do 2 laps. That would help. Let's do 2 laps.
We're doing 2 laps on the start?
That would be sound. Yes, please. I would appreciate that.
New banning me photos on Twitter, by the way.
Holy shit. Well, hello, Josh Morgan. We're here for the Slmroc series. It's race 3 of, like 13, I think. We're going to do a 4-wide salute just because we're doing a 4-wide salute. All right, cool, I guess. Well, I just wanted to kind of have this to set the stage for everything that's going on here, and so that we could have enough time to do our grid. So, yeah, let's kick off the grid, Josh Morgan. Why don't we?
Let's do it to it, man. On the pole.
How about that?
Logan Helton. And alongside Nathan Rabidou in what was a Nexus 1-2-4 with Quentin Warman breaking up starting 3rd, Garrett Conrad 4th, Thomas Lloyd, Richard Sprague, Colton Zimmer, Austin Farr, Brandon Hawken, and Tyler Lannon round out the top 10 on the starting grid.
And then it'll be Troy Sabat starting 11th, Trevor Perry in row 6 with him, Jeremy Clapper Newell, who I believe might be making his season debut in that 16 machine alongside Windvow 8820 Michael Cozy Jr. Adam Sampson and Wesley Rudebush round out row 8 with Tyler Gary and Lucas Plussel in row 9. A couple of absolute weapons right there. Wesley Pearson and Corey Henry round out your top 20. And Tristan Baker and John Velasti, 21st and 22nd. Brian Hicks and Ryan Pandicio in row 12. Albert McKee and Michael Moody, 25th and 26th. And then, rounding out your field, Jim Clark and Shane Fuller. 28 cars tonight, Josh, for 70 laps around this
70 laps,
1.5-mile racing track.
110 miles around the Chicagoland Speedway. Pit window's probably be lap 40 and later. Around 60 miles is the benchmark for fuel. So the pay window does open lap 30, but we'll see people pitting as late as they can, so we can take on as little fuel as possible.
And if you remember back to the first time we did Slmroc at Chicagoland, Matthew Zwack, I overheard him last night. He said it's going to be pretty much the same exact setup. So there haven't been much changes to this track. NASCAR doesn't go here anymore. Rest in peace. We might see some exciting racing like we did when Slmroc went here in the first season. We saw Tyler Gary win, I believe it was like race 2 or 3. But yeah. We're here. The pace car, the pace truck dives off. There's going to be lots of exciting action tonight on PZN. We're green with the Nexus boys leading us down. Helton and Rabidou continue side by side. Helton's going to try to get that edge. Oh, we got one car on the bottom of the track down there. It was Jeremy Clapper. He's going to drop all the way to the back of the field as Logan Helton led lap 1. We continue to cut it up here, but too wide through most of the field.
Helton wasn't completely clean in my first lap, got a little loose coming off of turn 4, was able to maintain serve. On the bottom, looking 2x2 most of the field. Separation between Rabidou and Conrad at the front of the field. Rabidou is about half a lane higher than everybody else in that second lane off of board. A little bit of experimentation early. It's going to be Helton leading the lap with Warman riding the yellow line at the bottom of the apron.
Our first little inkling of 3 wide back there as we see Trevor Perry go to the top lane. That's around the 00 of Troy Sabat. Brandon Hawkins on the bottom there, the 99-99 show. Trying to help things along. Rabidou's edging ahead. But there's really not a lot of help there from that 9 car of Conrath.
Man, it looks like Trevor Perry's trying to get maybe like a third lane to stick a little bit. We got Hawken and Cozy on the apron as well. We saw the 00 Sabat stick at 3 wide, was able to make it work. Perry still doesn't have any help, but he's getting a good run through exit turn 2. He's going to give Austin Farr something to think about on his rear quarter.
You're a little quiet, Josh Morgan.
Stand by.
It's a little bit of...
You might need to bump me up a little bit on your end.
You're 200%.
Hold on.
So, it's also a part of this camera pack. This is a Finian camera pack. Shout out trackcams22.com. I'll get to all your camera packs there. But this is a Finian camera pack because this track is dead. So there's no cameras for it, or new cameras for it. So the Finian camera pack, their audio, the ambient sound, it's a little bit louder. Speaking of loud, these guys are cutting it up in this lead pack 3x3. The 05 rather, Richard Sprague Jr. hopped up in front of Trevor Perry there, and there was a little bit of contact in the middle of the pack there, but for now, everything is picking up. Oh!
Double zero and Cozy get together going into turn one. They managed to keep it together, and there's a wreck in front of him.
Oh, no.
Colton Zimmer facing the wrong way. Austin Farr's up in the wall.
Trouble. Brian Hicks just barely avoids Troy Sabat, who held his brakes. Austin Farr rips it down off the wall, and he might be okay. Jeremy Clapper, he got past everything. He's all good. He's going to scoot on by. What happened? There was a lot of stuff going on in this league.
We were kind of focused on that wad of cars around Cozy, and then the 05 and the 09 banged doors. Middle of 1 and 2, there was a staggered 4 wide with Perry and Hawkins sandwiching them. They just kind of got together. The 09 got on the Hawkins and then went up the hill, and there's just a bunch of cars there. Can't do a whole lot.
Oof, and then that was, I believe that's...
Jim Clark Jr. in the 33.
And we had Jim with very early issues last week as well, and so another very tough start to the race for him. Tyler Landon we saw with a lot of damage to that 64 machine. Let's see what Tyler... Oh, he saw terrible things.
He chose the top lane, and there was just nowhere to go for the 64.
Oh. Well, that'll be a fast repair. That's for sure. You can barely steer that thing straight. But as we are at the 1/10th mark, they're pitting. Oh my God, multiple drivers are pitting. Some guys are staying out. That was third place Quentin Warman who stayed out. So
four cars stayed out rather. Quentin Warman, Thomas Lloyd, Richard Sprague, and Adam Sampsell all stayed out. A couple more later, deeper in the field, Michael Moody and Jeremy Clapper Newell, who we saw had issues at the start, elected to regain all that track position back.
This is a slick Pontiac. Say sleek Pontiac template.
Is that a Grand Prix or is that like a G8?
I think that's a Grand Prix. That looks like a Grand Prix. And
that'd be like an 06.
It's like a perfect car to have on this body style is a little Grand Prix. Little Grand Prix. Little Grand Prix. Booty racing. Let's do a paint scheme check. Go throughout the field on these fine gentlemen.
For most of the field, it looked like maybe just right side tires and a splash of fuel. Around 7.5, 8 seconds for pit stops for most of the field. Colton Zimmer spent an extended amount of time for repairs and looks like so has everybody behind him.
This number is so big, man. It's ginormous. Cutting. It's like that's the Club Wyndham logo.
That's what you do on a super late, man.
That's true. It's fine. I like that gradient. It's just very solid. It's very strong gradient, but it gets the job done. I feel like I don't have my trading paints. I feel like all these, like, they're not, but I feel like a lot of those paints, like, they all look like default paints. Not with all due respect. There's Logan Helton. Nathan Rabideau. The synthwave thing is coming up. I think it's about a month from now in the Tampa Bay area. If he finishes in the top 3, he'll be able to give you some more information about it, I'm sure. Or maybe could pull him in during the race and ask him about it, honestly.
More information about the race. The choose cone tonight is going to be where the start-finish line meets. The apron coming to 1 to go, so we don't have any calamity if someone hits it.
Yeah, it's just like not like last week where if somebody hit the choose cone, they would have been subject to about $250,000 in track and car damages.
It does move Logan Helton up a row. He goes up to the 3rd row as a result of Jeremy Clapper Newell taking the outside behind the 1 of Michael Moody. Coming to the restart, it'll be lap 10 when we cross the stripe.
Quinn Warman is out there on this restart, and I kind of
3x3 a little deeper in the field around 3x3 into turn 1 around Conrath and Michael Moody. Plessel's bottom of 3 wide with Clapper, Newell, and Hawken middle of the back straight. It will be Conrath leading the second group. It's 6 cars ahead of him, trying to break away in a hurry, but they're 4 wide per second. We're trying to be 4 wide per second. Moody gets in the wall coming off of 4. It's Warman still with about 0.2 of a lead over Thomas Lloyd. It's Samsel on the top trying to get that very top lane to stick. 4 on the bottom right now with Richard Sprague Jr. trying to get the middle to stick. It's 2x2 behind the top 2.
Ever resort to going into your sound mixer settings to turn the game down? Because you just got to do that sometimes.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man, that was Tyler Gary, who we really haven't mentioned. I really haven't said much about so far today. He kept his late model above the apron, and Adam Samsel nearly wasn't expecting it. That was tight through the tri-oval. Some drivers, it's kind of odd. Some drivers, they want to go down there, some don't, and it's tough to communicate. So tough to realize that sometimes it can end up with contact. But it was Logan Heltland. He's trying to make those new tires work on Thomas Lloyd, and Samsel's going to cut it underneath Tyler Gary.
Presumably right side only for the 63 and the 26, and they are making it work early with only about 10 lap difference on the tires. It's still Warman leading the way. It's 2x2 behind him for the next 4 positions with Helton and Lloyd and Samsel and Gary duking it out respectively.
They might not have even taken tires, honestly, with how short these pit stops were. 7.4, 6.9, 7.7. A couple of guys are up there 13.1. Colton Zimmer had a 21.5. I believe he got 4 tires with his damage fixed. But these guys, either 2 tires or just fuel on that last pit stop, as Quinn Orman's seeing some pressure from the lead from that 43 of Thomas Lloyd as they're 3 wide behind him.
Helton had a bit of a wiggle middle of 2. It's going to lose a lot of momentum to Gary and Samsel. Going to drop behind the 26 of Gary. Now Richard Sprague's going to try and give a bit of a bubble push to the 17. Thomas Lloyd is going to go to the bottom of Warman turn 3. He's going to try and hold serve on the bottom, go to the apron, shorten the distance around the quad, will lead the lap by about 1,000th of a second, about a 100th of a second over Quentin.
Look at the run that
Warman.
Gary got, though.
And now Gary got a great run.
Middle.
He's going to shoot middle 3 on the back straight, get a little tight to the 84 on the entry to the back straight. It's going to open up the door for a lot of people behind to get a great run in the turn 3. They're still sticking 3 wide. Thomas Lloyd gets a little tight to Gary on the entry of 3. They keep it together through 4. Now the 43 machine is getting a good push from Samsel. It's 3 on the bottom, getting a great bit of work to each other right now. It's still Warman trying to make that top lane work. At the line, it was Lloyd still. Now Gary's starting to eke ahead off of 2.
That was a big block from Gary. Slides up in front of the 84. Now going to be 3 wide for what'll be 3rd. Gary in that sun drop machine. It's a very much, it seems like a default paint scheme almost, because it's the default paint scheme on the actual late model stock that just got released. Logan Helton's trying to stick his nose up the middle. Gary closes the door though. And Warman's not out of this battle yet on that outside lane. He wants to get back into this thing.
Richard Sprague got a little bit of tight coming off of 4 that last time around. Gave Corey Henry in that Hooters 11 machine a bit of a scare, but Henry is not deterred. He has joined this lead battle at the front of the field, which Gary's starting to eke ahead a little bit more of each time they get around the speedway. Now look at Garrett Conrath go top of 3 through turn 4. Got a great run on the 0-5 of Richard Sprague. A bit of a block from Gary on Helton. He's going to keep it together. That was a very late block from the 26, but they've managed to make it stick. It's now 5 cars duking it out for the lead, and then a little bit of separation to Rabideau leading the charge.
And look at this. They're 4 wide behind him. This is for the 7th position. Now they get out to 2 wide as they continue to be 3x3 for the lead. Gary tight on the right front of that 43 machine. Samsel to the bottom now. I think he's going to lead this lap, maybe. Give it to Lloyd. Incredible racing up here between all these parties. And it's been clean the whole way through until I immediately jinx it. as Adam Samsel is going to go around. Unbelievable stuff, honestly. The announcer jigs just doesn't miss. And they're 3 wide for the lead again. Thomas Lloyd, Logan Hilton, Tyler Gary. And this preceding pack is going to catch up to them and get a big draft with this battle going on. Look at the 93 and the 99. They're flying up on this lead group.
Samsel nearly got clipped by Velasti when he came to a halt. He's going to continue with no damage.
Oh, we got a caution.
Now we got a caution.
Oh, God.
Clapper Newell clobbers the 77.
That is Wesley Rudebush, who just got absolutely annihilated. Damn. Austin Farr, who I don't know if he was I believe 4th place in points, the Michigan winner. This is, I believe he may be done. Yeah, Austin Farr is going to be done after that wreck. It's 2 for 2 on him in wreck involvements. Just a little bit of a, oh, man. And then insult to injury for the 77 machine.
It's not the first time we've seen it in this second season of Slmroc either. Someone gets a self-spun by themselves or spun from a collision by themselves, but only because it was a 1-car deal. Caution does not come out, and then a lap or 2 later, something like this happens and it bails them out.
Oh. Just a hard lick there, guys.
So yeah, Adam Samsel's the next one to get really lucky with the timing of the cautions.
And he will be catching up here with Wesley Rudebush, who was destroyed. But yeah, Samsel's going to have a chance here to get back into the fray, as everybody is going to come down the pit road this time, except for Tyler Gary. He just finessed everybody. He wants that track position. Almost everybody else, though. I'm pretty sure everybody else. Yeah, literally everybody in the pits.
It's going to be about the same stint length to where it was after the first restart, about 8 to 10 laps compared to the those who stayed out to grid. Everyone's going to be taking presumably some tires at this pit stop. We see the right sides go up on the Hawken machine, the Rabidou machine. Cozy took fuel only. He's going to gain a bunch of track position.
Helton with fuel only.
Second off of pit road. Helton winning the race.
So it looks like 2 cars with fuel only, about 4 cars there. So Cozy and Rabidou fuel, or Cozy and Helton rather, fuel only. Rabidou, Henry, Conrath, and Baker taking 2, and then everybody 8th on back with 4 tires here. There's your winner off pit road. Logan Helton. He will join Tyler Gary on track as we're just about a third of the way through this fine race. What is there to discuss, Josh Morgan, in the next lap? I don't know. What's going on?
I have finished my salad of my dinner.
That's great to hear. I'm very proud of you. I just had some assorted deli meats. I just had a little bit of bologna, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of turkey. Just ate that. Wasn't really feeling anything
it's a Wednesday night, and just the timing of how everything works out. I have my dinner and I have Slmroc. It's a good combination. It's a part of a balanced diet.
It is, and since you're in that Western time zone, the sun is just in that spot where it's still oh damn, the sun is out right now, or the sun is up right now.
Yeah,
so
it was a nice good. It was nice in the low 50s today, based on the Fahrenheit units, about 10, 11, 12 in Celsius. It was very lovely this morning when I drove into my normal 9 to 5 work.
9 to 5.
Working all day and night.
Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton.
So we'll also get a good chance to see the choose cone in action, because you didn't get to see that the first time around.
We will. We'll do that. The starter. Oh, you know what?
We need to tilt it down just a little bit and maybe zoom it out a little bit.
Choose cone.
It's pretty even until Conrath kind of broke the streak. First one to go consecutively to the bottom. Yes. That little
Great indicator.
that seam where
That is
the white
chone. If you
line
hit that blue
and
box, penalty.
where the white line meets the checkered with the yellow in the middle, that is the choose cone.
Selection. Well, Tyler Gary chose the middle, apparently. He's indecisive. Yeah, he chose the middle. He's not going to either lane. So
Moving up as well from the round of pit stops, Tristan Baker in the 51. I think he also took fuel only, but he was so deep in the field, they wasn't really able to get the most of it. But he's still going to be starting on the 3rd row alongside the 11 of Corey Henry.
say him and Corey, big movers in that cycle of pit stops. We'll see what that 3rd row can do here as we are going to restart this race for the 3rd time. The pace truck makes a comic left, and we're green. The comical left. Comic left. I don't know what that means. Why did the comic leave?
It's a good question. I got nothing.
This is something that we saw a couple of, or when we were here last time. If you're the leader, you can get a massive advantage on that opening restart. It's a...
Not as much as Warman had last time around. Cozy's leading a pretty good charge to get them back to the 26 machine of Gary. They're 3 wide, a little bit deeper in the field with Trevor Perry, the 43, and the 51. That's Tristan Baker and Thomas Lloyd behind them. Cozy's getting a great push from Helton in through the quad oval. Going to go in behind the Sundrop 26 of Gary into turn 1. Nathan Rabidou leading the charge on the top. So he's side by side with Corey Henry. Now getting a bit of a push from Conrath behind.
And you got to think, will Cozy just kind of chill out for a little bit here, see what he has underneath that 99 machine? He's got fuel only, so he's on the same tires as Michael Cozy Jr., as is Logan Helton, who's trying to move up. So you got to think, if Logan Helton's making a move here, Cozy can't be too far behind, and there he goes, looking to the outside, trying to make something happen on your race leader, Tyler Gary.
And notable as well, we are still outside of the windows where you can make it to the end on field. We're about 18 to 20 short at this point. It's going to change as the run progresses, but we're still notably not able to make it on a tank of fuel as of yet. The 51 just kind of got a little bit tight in the wall. Going to keep it up there. That was a evasive maneuver from Brandon Hawken to get out of the way. He was the first one on the scene. The 51's going to lose a bunch of positions, though.
But he's okay. He's good.
There's
just going to be a lot of damage.
Clipping the wall.
These things, they're wide, man. You get in this car, look at how wide it is, man. It's a lot, like the car extends like out here. There's way more stuff out there, man. And like in the Cup car, that's pretty much it. Like there's a little bit more of a, it's a wide, this super late model is a wide boy. It's looking tough for these guys to pass, although they don't really have much help, either of these, the 63 or the 99. But passing seems to be a bit of a task here. You might want track position, might be your friend here in the last 40 laps.
And the fast line around here kind of feels like you arc it down into the corner from, say, like second or second and a half lane. Go to the white lane and then kind of arc it back out, which Gary is able to do since he's running clear by himself. Kind of compromising Helton and Cozy a little bit, but they do have the draft behind him, which is going to play a big factor. And you got Trevor Perry and Richard Sprague joining the battle too. Trying to eat my steak now.
Ever just eat your steak, man? I was gonna eat a steak tonight, but I like kind of napped a little bit. I kind of napped through like the time of where it was like, hey, I want to eat a steak. I'm gonna go out and like eat, like get that and prepare that and all that. So I scrapped it. I might come into Austral Night in America tomorrow night, which will be live about this exact time, 24 hours from now. I might go into that being like, yeah, we're having
a steak or a
eating
pork
a
chop.
steak. It might be a steak night in America tomorrow night. Tyler Garrett, he
even
has opened up a little bit of a gap here to this battling duo.
The difference in fuel might be playing a little bit of a factor here. The difference being about 14 laps worth of fuel running the difference. It is still like a couple of gallons. A little bit of a lighter automobile in the Slmroc Chevy might be making just enough of a difference to where he can break three. It's 2x2 for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Helton, Rabideau, Perry, and Conrath battling pretty tight. Richard Sprague and the 84 of Quentin Warman have joined the fray.
If there's anybody that knows about the intricacies of these cars, it would be these guys up the front. A couple of Coke guys, they would know the most about most stock cars, most oval cars on the surface. As you saw, Cozy getting a little bit sideways.
Bit of a wiggle. Didn't lose a whole lot of momentum. They get a good bubble push from Helton down the back straight. He's now got Rabideau on his left flank as well.
And car that we're going to want to look out for here in the next couple of laps. That 13. Oh, Conrad. Man, that was a great save. Sprague came down into him, and hell of a job. But a car we want to look out here for.
Hell of a job from all three.
Trevor Perry, he's the first car on fresh tires along with that 05 of Richard Sprague. Look at the grip that he has compared to that 93 through the corner. He is going to be flying up on this front three here. Now he's clear. His buddy Richard Sprague Jr. on tires is clear. Quentin Warman, he's on tires. He's clear. These guys might be hitting their sweet spot in the run as we hit the halfway point of the race.
It's going to be Gary, Cozy, Helton, Perry, and Sprague. Top five across the line. Sprague under attack from Warman, too wide in turn one. They're too wide behind them as well with Conrath and Rabideau. Hawken and Lloyd have joined the fight. That is your top 10 for now. They're going to pass the wounded Tyler Landon machine. It's going to go 14 laps down. Perry's going to give Helton a good push into turn three. Try and get him a little bit ahead of Cody. He's kind of running up the hill a little bit tight for the W machine. Going to give Gary a 2/10 lead in front of this pursuing group of five.
And yeah, Gary just continues to kind of just have about 2 to 3 car lengths on these guys. They're kind of trying to sort it out. Trevor Perry's trying to make that move to the bottom. Sprague's trying to find a hole. These guys on the fresh tires, I think they know that if they get around this little blockade of Helton and Cozy, they can go for the lead of this race, but they need to get there first. Can Trevor Perry make the move? Not quite down the front stretch.
Perry's wanting to get that get his nose below the 63 Chevy, just not able to so far in his Toyota Camry. Notable with this battle for second, though, is that Gary's getting pretty close to the fuel window for him to where he can come in and not need to pit again if he gets it as full fuel as he possibly can. And Helton gets a big push from Perry into turn three, keeps it together. A great save from the 63. They're going to lose a lot of momentum now. Helton's going to block Perry all the way down to the apron. Not happy with the move out of the 13 Toyota. And it's going to give Michael Cozy Jr. and Quentin Warman a couple of spots and a lot of breathing room behind the 63 and 13.
That was pretty funny. You could see Logan Helton coming off the corner. He said, I will compromise corner. I am compromising my corner exit for the exact purpose of not allowing you to get to the bottom of the racetrack below me. That's what he did. And it worked out. And now Quentin Warman,
it worked out,
who's going to end up being the first car who we believe is on 4 tires. He's on either he's on 4 tires or he's just lounging in the fucking pit box for like 10 seconds for no reason. But he's there.
It also gave Helton like a bit of a giddy up because he now has about a car and a half gap to the 13. The gap between Cozy and Warman is about the same. And it's also giving Cozy a little bit of an opportunity to try and close the gap on the 26, who might be pitting pretty soon here. And that last time around, it was Warman who was the quickest car on the speedway, getting the most of the draft and the bubble from the 63 behind. They are single file back to Thomas Lloyd. And look at who's in 10th. He's made his way through the field.
Oh, boy.
Brian Hicks in the Chevy SS.
I just want to say, this is a fine this spec map of this car. Brian Hicks spent 16 hours.
Damn!
16 hours on this race. It's not, what is this? 16
Damn.
hours on this
that's
pace
a lot.
game. So, I mean, just absolutely grinding away in the
Was he
Brian
being
Hicks
paid
driving
by the
experience.
hour? Damn.
I don't know. He had to have been with how long he strung that out for. Austin Farr, by the way, tip of the cap, trying to get all the points that he can. He just went his first lap down, but he's in that points battle. He didn't just give in, man. He's still out.
Does he
here.
still have his fast repair?
He does not have his fast repair because he was involved in that first wreck, and then he was involved in the second wreck as well. So he had to take his fast repair after the first one, and that spelled doom for him.
Yeah, after his unfortunate race at Rockingham, he's 10 above the cut line, trying to be in the hunt within the top 12 in points. Top 6 punches your ticket to the playoffs, and then you need to be in the top 4 for the finale in a couple of months' time. But as of right now, Top Gear trying to break away from the first battle, which is Quentin Warman and Trevor Perry. They are battling for 4th at the moment. Conrad's trying to get that third lane to stick. He's got his next teammates on his flank of Rabidou and Hawkins, working side by side. Still waiting for the call for the 26 car to come in for fuel at the moment.
He is, yeah, 36 laps in. It's got to be sometime soon for the 26 car. Tyler Gary, you'd like to think. The one thing to wonder is, will he have friends with him? Like, will Michael Cozy maybe go with him? I'm trying to see if he's not in Discord in Slmroc, but I'm sure he's with somebody. Probably Michael Cozy Jr., maybe the Cut Commanders of some kind. We'll have to see if there's any sort of coordination for him, as you see Rabidou throw the block back there, but Gary will be coming in soon. Everybody will make it to the end.
Everybody else will make it to the end pitting from here. Gary has been out for now 37 laps. We are at 26 to go, so it's just going to be a question of how much fuel you do take in the stop. That's going to decide your track position, and maybe you take right hand side tires, and maybe that'll be just enough of a difference for grip to get you to win the race. Now, Gary has made the decision to come in at the end of his 37th lap for fuel for the Sundrop Chevrolet.
He will have no friends coming with him.
He will have one
Corey
friend.
Henry.
You have Corey Henry in the 11.
So I have to see. I'm trying to look at the timing screen. That'll be everybody who has to pit. So it'll be him and Gary, the people who are on that alternate fuel strategy, that is. We got a battle for the lead now. Here goes Logan Helton diving underneath. And Trevor Perry's going to finally get to show off those tires. He gets clear of Quentin Warman. It's a little bit of an 8-car breakaway here. Brian Hicks is 3/10 back. He's trying to claw his way back, and he's getting there. And how about Adam Sampsell, who spun out after I jinxed him? He's going to be back up in this fray as well.
And there's Tyler Gary coming out of his stop for fuel. A 13.6 for him was a 13.0 for Corey Henry. He's going to merge in about midfield behind the Lucas Plessel machine. He's currently in 13th, is the 45 car. But behind Logan Helton, it's 2x2. It's going to go up to block Cozy off of 4. Cozy's going to cut down in front of Perry. He's going to get a great run to the apron, lead the lap even. They're going to be 2x2 for the first 3 rows. It's Cozy versus Helton at the front of the field.
The unfortunate part of Gary's strategy is now if we get a caution, we have the Moon Car style wave arounds, but he's still trapped a lap down. He'll have to drive his way through the field if we get a yellow, which is not exactly what he would want for sure. He was in the pits for 13 seconds, so I don't know if that's exactly how much these guys will need in terms of fuel, but you'd think that'll be enough for them to take right side tires if they so desire as we get down to this fuel run. Or maybe they won't have to take that much fuel. We'll have to see. It's going to be interesting to see how the strategy plays out. When we get to green flag pit stops in Slmroc, we often see that strategy is the winner.
He had a really good last lap as well, a 32.6, about 0.3 quicker than what those at the front of the field were doing. Warman a little bit out of shape coming off 4, able to keep it together. So 3/10 here, 3/10 there might be the difference when we do get the pit stop for this lead group, though. He does need to get a bit of a move on to try and make the most of the draft he might be getting from the 45.
These guys continue to cut it up. Oh, man. Hawkins
my goodness.
Snuck his nose in there 4 wide. As Helton opens up a bit of a gap, make it quarter of a second. Quinn Warman tried to go top to bottom in the elevator move there, but it wasn't quite available.
3x3, Rabideau a little tight by the 84 for 3rd place. They separate on this wide front straightaway with the 913 taking the apron. Adam Samsel now wants a piece of the action. He has gotten a bit of a gap to Brian Hicks behind him. It is 7 cars in a wad for 3rd.
A wad is the only way to describe it. And they're going to be 4 wide now. Maybe Adam Samsel thought better of it. That would have been for the make it 6th position, as these guys just continue to cut it up. Helton loves to see it, and now Michael Cozy loves to see it, as that 99 car has opened up a 4/10 of a second gap to this trailing group, and he's going to be right on the back bumper of Logan Helton going into 1.
Rabideau and Perry desperately trying to get a little bit whiff of a draft as the top 2 try and tandem away. Bomb lane pretty well organized with Hawking getting behind Conrad. 4 on the bottom, 2 on the top, a little bit separated. Warman tries to get down to join the line, but Conrad is there. He's forced to back out of the move, potentially lose a position to Hawk in there, with Rabideau still hanging tough side by side with Perry. And now we have another person hitting as well. Colton Zimmer in the 09 has come in by himself, and so has Wesley Rudebush.
And Wesley Rudebush, after being involved in that second caution, he's having a very good run. He was running 11th with this group of Lucas Plussel and Albert McKee. And now look who's jumped up to the top of that group, Tyler Gary, and he can see this lead group. He's going to try to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, try to make up as much time as he can on him at least. He's about a 10th slower than the leader's last lap, but as long as he's not losing time, he's going to give himself a chance here.
Gary might have played like a little bit of quarterback, get Big Al and Lucas Plussel get him behind him, try and lead a charge. Might be working out in his favor at the moment. The top 2 have broken away to about 7/10 behind, ahead of Perry and Rabideau. Rabideau's got a help from his Nexus teammates on the top lane. It is the 43 of Thomas Lloyd, giving Trevor Perry a push. They are due for pit stops pretty soon here in this league group as well.
I was just about to say, they're about 30 laps into the stint right now, as they're dueling lines up there, but not in dueling positions. I believe that front group, they're pretty much of Helton and Cozy. I think they're just trying to tandem away as best they can to get as much of a gap on these guys right now. But yeah, we saw Gary come in around lap like 38 to 40 in his stint. These guys are 33 laps in right now, so I'd expect pit stops before 10 laps to go, but we'll see how long these guys try to stretch it.
Helton and Cozy got about 0.5 of a second that last time around on Perry. It's gonna be about 1.5 this time around. The difference in pace between the top 2 and Rabideau and Perry leading that second lane. The tandem is working very well, and they're able to keep just enough distance off of each other in the 63 and the 99, where temperatures aren't really an issue in the super late model. I got another couple cars pitting deeper in the field. Michael Moody and Jim Clark Jr. have come in for their fuel stop as well. And here comes a bunch more from the lead group as well. Lloyd, Warman, and Samsel have all come in by themselves, as a trio.
They're by themselves, technically.
They are by themselves in the automobile, but they are coming in as a unit of 3.
So we'll see where they all come out, where Tyler Gary cycles out in relation to all of them. That'll be the most important one, is Rabideau trying to make sure that he's going to be on the bottom here. I think these guys might be trying to pit this time.
Jean Velasti and Shane Fuller also pit last time around. Here comes the leaders. Here comes everybody in this lead group. Brian Hicks joining them as well. It is 7 cars at the front of the field. Here comes the 58 of Al McKee, Lucas Plessel as well. Top 9 are in now. It's going to be all eyes on Gary to see if he has done enough to A, get his lap back, which he has obviously done, but B, put himself back in the fight with this lead group.
It's going to be Helton and Cozy are the ones that we want to pay attention to, as Jeremy Clapper Newell will cycle through to the lead. There's Helton on pit road. There's Gary coming through 3 and 4.
Newell probably pit next time around. Gary's probably getting a whiff of a draft from, I believe that is Warm. And here comes the whole field of cars that were just pitting. Cozy's going to lead the race off of pit road. About a second faster stop than Conrath. It's going to be Perry and Helton that are neck and neck. And here comes Gary. He's going to try and get past Rabideau. He's going to be back in this lead battle.
He's going to be flying up on these guys, and he's going to be A-okay. No harm, no foul. I'm sure he'd like to be maybe 2 seconds clear of Michael Cozy Jr., not about 4 seconds behind him, but he'll take it. He's in striking distance. But Michael Cozy Jr., what a hell of a pit stop for him. He's 1.6 seconds clear of the next driver, Garrett Conrath, who's got help from Quinn Warman, Trevor Perry. Great stop from Warman as well. He is, I believe, the only one out of his group there that was able to... Yeah, him and Warman, it was Warman, Samsel, and Lloyd who pit together, and Lloyd's back in 15th, Samsel's back in 13th. So
it's believed Samsel did take 4 tires. The quickest stop that time around was Cozy with the 9.2, a full second clear of Conrath. Gary ended up being 3 seconds clear, and that's basically the difference in stationary time in the pits between him and the leaders all around him.
So Gary's going to cycle through back to 6th, which he can't be too mad about. 2.7 seconds back, and he is gaining fast. Conrath is now within 1.2 seconds of Cozy. I think it's just a matter of time before Cozy's going to get reeled in here. Let's see the times that time by. 7:07.26 for Cozy, 5:20 for Conrath.
5:03 for Conrath. That's 0.2 a lap. He's got just enough time to get to the back of the 99 as the 99 is now lapping Austin Farr, who's going to be going 2 laps down on the back. They just need to get organized and start working together, and they can overhaul this 99. The question is just, do they have enough time to make it stick?
It is really an interesting question here.
Very
do they have enough
tight on
time?
time.
It's gonna be about a 10th a lap that they're gonna have to get. They're gonna have to hit better than a 10th a lap at this rate to catch him. They're at about 1.0 seconds now on the dot. This is gonna be very interesting.
It is full serious time for the Altus driver, a Cozy, trying to pull in qualifying laps the rest of the way, hoping that Conrath and co don't get enough of a draft in the last couple laps to make the difference. They are all single file, trying to minimize the distance around the lap as well. Same for Cozy, who was at the bottom of the apron. Times that time around, it was a 32.73 for Cozy. For Conrath, it was a 32.57. And about another 10th and a half there. The gap is under 9/10 with 8 laps to go.
It is, it's getting there. Conrath,
it's going to be real close.
The good thing for Garrett Conrath and Logan Helton is that they are teammates, but doesn't seem to be that way now. Logan Helton's going to dive underneath his Nexus teammate, Garrett Conrath, and maybe a purposeful move, Conrath going to let him go by, and maybe they're going to try to hook themselves up now. It's 0.7 of a second up to Michael Cozy Jr.
It did look like an orchestrated switch. The car that was trailing behind went to the apron, used the run in the shorter distance to then take the lead. It was Helton taking second place at that juncture. We're going to have to see if Conrath is able to get the mow off of 4 and take the apron. He's just a little too far back this time around. Looking at the lap times across the stripe, a 32.63 for Cozy. It was only a 32.58 for Helton. They gained a little bit, but not enough. Time is running out, 6 to go.
These guys are hooked up now, though, and it was about a 10th of a second that they gained, according to timing and scoring, through that first turn. It's going to be a tough break here, maybe, for these guys that are just out of this reach of this lead pack. Trevor Perry, Tyler Gary, Michael Moody, that car is a lap down. Hawkins a little bit further back. Brian Hicks is having a great run. He's battling with Nathan Rabideau right now. At the line,
the battle for 8.
69 to a 69 to a 51. That's the difference. 5 laps to go. I think that Logan Helton's going to get there. He's sniffing the draft of that 99 Altus machine.
Yeah, he just got the draft of the 63 with the 900 and the 54 in tow. They're going to have a massive run, probably in the next lap and a half, coming to 4 to go at the line. It was another good lap from Cozy, trying to just do what he can, single file, no help from the draft. My ATVO the ATVO timing and scoring kind of messed up there. There we go.
It's
a 32.655 for Cozy. It was a 32.472. It's another tenth and a half across the stripe. And the gap's below 4/10 with 4 to go. They're going to have basically one shot to get this done, either on the 2 to go or the white flag lap if we stay green.
Michael Cozy Jr. was Slmroc's Season 1 champion. He's winless so far in Season 2 competition, but he would
regular
love...
season.
Regular season.
Wasn't he?
What? No, he was the champ. No, Brandon
it was Blake
Hawken.
Brandon Hawken.
Wait.
It was Blake McCandless who was the champion. Wasn't it? I'm going crazy.
Michael Cozy Jr., Slmroc Series runner-up.
Runner-up. There you go.
I don't fucking know. Blake McCandless
McCandless
got it anymore.
He got a sick trophy, though, and the sick trophy goes to the champion. The gap between the top three is now about 1.5 car lengths.
Why the fuck would Ethan put the runner-up on that fucking graphic?
That's a good question, by the way.
There's 2 laps to go.
Top 4 are now in a pack by themselves. It's Tyler Gary, who has passed Trevor Perry for 5th. Going to be waiting to see where Logan Helton does make the move. He's got a little bit of separation to Conrath behind, which he doesn't really need at the moment. He needs that bubble from behind to try and force him ahead. He's going to go inside of the 99. You're going to be side by side for the lead. Coming off of turn 4, we're coming to the white flag. Next flag is going to end the race. Unless we get a caution right here, we do not. At the line, it was Cozy, 1 to go here at Chicagoland.
Hell of a job from these drivers. We've gone over 40 laps green, had a green flag pit stop, and look at this. After that much time, it's this much distance between the top 4. Warman gonna try to make a move, Conrath as well, but the battle for the lead is between the 99 and the 63. Warman blinks out. Here's Conrath looking to the outside. Off of turn 4, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be down to the line, and it's gonna be contact. It's Michael Cozy Jr. winning. What a race, and what a finish, side by side between Michael Cozy and Logan Helton. And how about Quentin Warman getting up there, having a say in this thing? He finishes 3rd.
The top line just didn't work out for Conrath. It was a good Hail Mary attempt for the 900 machine, just did not work out. Tyler Gary ends up leading that second group in 5th. Perry, Hawk, and Rabidou. Brian Hicks gets 9th. Lucas Plessel gets a good point stay in the Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream machine. But how about the 99 crew for Michael Cozy Jr.? That was a heck of a pit stop, and that was all the difference.
The Slmroc Series runner-up, Michael Cozy Jr., wins his first race of the season. And how about that? I'm gonna go back through the old trophy room and see what his race win was. He won at Homestead. That was his win, and then he won at the season opener at Michigan as well. Those were Michael Cozy's 2 wins last year. So a 3rd victory added to the board for the Logitech G Altus Racing Machine.
The Front Row Motorsports driver.
Coca-Cola.
He's had a good week this week. He's I think he got a top 10 at Hotlanta. Gonna win tonight, and he's gonna try and see if he can get a little bit more with Rodcar and IROC on Friday.
He does. There's 2 races on Friday for him to eat a little bit more, and he probably has some sort of thing going on tomorrow for Road to Pro or some. Oh, he's at the Procast tomorrow with somebody else.
Procast, man.
Let me see actually who that's with. I don't know. Holy shit, the Week 3 Pro. He's actually not on the Week 3 Procast. I was lying. The Week 3 Procast is Malik Ray and Jordy Lopez. That'll be fucking
That'll
content.
be a great content.
That'll be fucking content. That'll be some great content.
Other notables from the results. Wesley Rudebush just misses out on a top 10. Good recovery drive for the 77. Corey Henry, we saw near the front of the field kind of before the pit stops. He ends up 12th. Ryan Pendicio 20th. Jeremy Clapper Newell, who we saw get wrecked very early on, he gets 19th. Big Al McKee was 24th. Austin Farr didn't manage to bring it home. 2 laps down in 26th.
Props to Austin Farr. He gave his best effort despite having a very unfortunate day. And yeah, it was fucking 3 2 cautions. He was involved in both of them. Green the rest of the way. Not ideal. But yeah, I don't see our race winner, Michael Cozy Jr., in the waiting room. So give him. We'll just
Give him a minute.
Give him like 15 seconds, and then I'll talk to Logan Helton because he's in the waiting room. Because he's just there, man.
Maybe Matthews Whack will give him the memo. Always possible.
Give him a little kick in the rear. But that's okay if he doesn't, because he's Michael Cozy Jr. You could probably go and just watch his VOD and see what he had to say. If he doesn't come over and talk to us, that's fine.
That's okay.
People like Michael Cozy Jr. make this thing run. And so do our lovely viewers tonight. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Slmroc, or rather, the Puffer Zone Network is picking up action, picking up speed here over the next month or two. So we appreciate all the love
rare
that you can
and
give.
elusive 4-stream week here, because we had the Austral Clash, which I hear was a roaring success.
It was a race. That's for sure.
It was a race.
It was a racing event.
So we have been joined by Michael Cozy Jr. in the waiting room. Let's pull him up, man.
Michael Cozy Jr., you are our race winner, the first win of Season 2 for you, your 3rd overall in Slmroc, and it was quite we went green. That was a little bit fun, I'd say, and your pit strategy ended up working out the best. What did you end up doing there that got you so far out in front, and then take me through that final 10 laps or so trying to hold off Helton in that pursuing pack?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that worked as well as it did. I usually suck with strategy. I'm usually way behind. Gary stopped pretty early in front of me there, and I just, I still had 13 laps left on fuel when he came in. I just wasn't ready to pit that early. I knew if a caution came out, though, he'd just be able to stay out and take that track position, but I was confident it was going to go green, so I just stayed out, and Logan was able to stretch it, and I was following him there, and we just pulled away on low fuel, and we were just hauling there, and I knew Gary was not running as fast laps as we were out front, so I knew I just had to stretch it there and take as short fuel as I could there for the last 10, 12 laps. Again, I was surprised I got out to big as lead as I did, and I sucked when I came out there. I wish I would have ran a couple better laps. I probably could have just broke the draft and been all right, but they caught me just the last couple laps there, and was able to hold off. I know it's hard to stick to bottom, but yeah, that was really fun, man. Glad we got to go green. Got this the VRS Logitech super late model in victory lane. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Cozy. Well, yeah, nice way to wrap or come off of your runner-up finish in the championship last year. First win of Season 2. We'll see you around. We'll see you on Friday for Rod Car, and maybe you go 2 for 2 on the Puffer Zone Network this week.
Hell yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Michael Cozy Jr. Always a lovely gentleman to talk to. Let's talk to Logan Helton now, because he finished second. Hey, Logan Helton, you brought it home second. That was quite a eventful race. Not really. I mean, just it was kind of fun for you guys to be driving around there and stuff. Went green the whole way. You were out there leading a lot of that first part of that green flag run. You ended up being cycled through and ended up being Cozy leading, but then you were able to get up to him, and you had a shot there at the end. So take me through that strategy there on that final run of the race, and yeah, just barely finishing in second behind Cozy.
Yeah, we took 2 tires there on that pit stop. I hadn't taken any tires the whole race, and I just didn't feel comfortable finishing the race on that set. It turns out I probably should have taken no tires, because I would have been up there with Cozy, and I could have been able to race it out and been in defensive position instead of having to be offensive at the end there. But, I had a lot of fun being a whole 2 seconds, I think it was, behind them, and then, catching them with 2 laps to go. So that was a lot of fun. It sucks to finish second 2 weeks in a row, but, we're having a good points. We're having a good points season so far. 3rd race of the season. And our worst finish so far is 7th, and we've got 2 second places. So I'll take that. It again sucks to not get the win, but I had a lot of fun out there racing with Cozy. And I don't really know what else to say. It was a lot of fun race with him.
Hell yeah! Well, Logan Helton, another solid finish for you in Slmroc, and we'll see you next week as you try to Just keep on rattling off these solid points days. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And real quick, just thanks to you guys for broadcasting and all my friends and family for watching, and Nexus Esports as well. And I hope you all have a great night.
Hey, Logan, I appreciate you, man, for racing. God bless you, and have a lovely night, man.
Appreciate you being here, man.
You as well. Have a good night.
Just a lovely gentleman.
Hi to Logan's family at home.
Yeah, hello.
Let's bring in our third place finisher. I think he's actually his best finish in Super Late Model Race of Champions. Quentin Warman in the 84.
Quentin Warman brought it home third. I believe that's your best finish in Slmroc competition. So take me through it. You seem to be up there pretty much the entire race. You had a fast car, so yeah, take me through it. You qualified well, and then the strategy worked out in your favor. You were the one car in that little group that was that pitted that was able to be in that top 3. So take me through your race.
Yeah, that was great. There was a lot of pack racing throughout the whole race, and there was strategy towards the end. I pitted a lap before most of the pack, so I think that's how I was able to get in that position. And then since I caught the draft of Garrett and Logan, I was able to slowly reel them in and get my best finish.
Hell yeah, Quentin. Well,
did you take 2 tires or no tires on that last stop?
I took fuel only because the handling didn't really change most of the race.
That might have been the difference to get you with Helton and Conrath. Well, congratulations on that third place, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, and thank you for putting on this awesome broadcast.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, Quentin. Thank you for racing, man. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. What a nice guy. We're just getting showered with love tonight here at the Buffer Zone Network.
Wild,
I honestly
man.
felt like I should have said something else to him. Be like, man, I appreciate you. He just said thanks for the awesome broadcast. And I was like, thank you for what I didn't say anything.
He was one of the reasons that race was so good.
Exactly.
Man.
I feel like I should have said something additional to him to express my gratefulness for his comment and for his presence. But anyways, I'm sure that we'll be able to do that at a later date for Quentin and for Logan and all the other lovely people that are the reason why the Puffer Zone Network is live multiple nights a week. We appreciate all of you. It's very kind, and you don't have to do it. And I am constantly indebted to you lovely people. So, who do we raid last night? I forget.
I wasn't here, so I personally don't know.
I don't even know who we raided last night. Trevor Perry was just in this race, so you can go hang out with him. But yeah, hello,
Tam Helton.
Are you
appreciate
Mrs.
you
Helton?
being here. I appreciate you being here.
We appreciate you being here, Tam Helton.
And next week,
whatever
for,
member of the Helton family you are,
next week for the Super Late Model Race of Champions is potentially a candidate for the best race of the season based on what some of us saw in preseason testing. We were at Legacy Pocono. It might be similar to what we had in Indianapolis, which was the best race of last season. But instead of four turns, we got 3. And tomorrow night, it's 200 miles at the World Center of Racing for the curtain raiser for Season 5 of Austral, the 924 Creative Speedway 200, which had its duels last week. And then Friday night, it is Rod Car Night in America with a double dip. We got Rod Car IROC and the Rod Car regular season finale from New Atlanta.
So yeah, that'll do it for us for tonight. For all of our viewers, for all of Logan Helton's family members, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night, 9:30, Puffer Zone Network, Austral. For Josh Morgan, I am Matt Spalding. Follow the Twitter, Puffer Network. Subscribe to the YouTube. Watch the Twitch tomorrow night. God bless. Have a good night. Hang out with Trevor. Peace.
God bless.